So, YouTube Heroes, Chris, you weren't aware of YouTube Heroes.
I did not know that this was a thing.
I had mentioned it to you a few times over the last week, and I just showed you the video.
Right.
So, coming at it from a person who maybe doesn't watch YouTube as much as I do, what are your impressions?
Okay, so initially, my thought was, this could be interesting. It could not be that bad, especially with that level 1 thing in the YouTube Heroes video that Google posted.
Subtitles, captions. That's a great service.
That is great. Yeah, that's wonderful. Flagging inappropriate videos, until you get to the mass flagging level, I was like, okay, because I have seen some like, just like people nude and stuff on YouTube.
But Chris, if I may interject.
Please.
Everybody has always had the ability to flag and report videos.
Yeah.
Now you get points for it. Now they are encouraging this behavior. Go on.
So yeah, that I think is where it turns for me, because up to that point it's like, okay, yeah, I could see this, but the minute you start incentivizing people flagging what they consider inappropriate, quote unquote inappropriate content, that creates a very strange dynamic in the YouTube community.
Right.
And we're going to obviously talk about that.
Well, I think the people who are going to be affected by this the most are conservative channels, anti-SJW, anti-feminist, atheist channels, who I happen to follow a lot of those. Not necessarily conservative channels, even though I am a fan of Milo Yiannopoulos.
Yeah.
Not necessarily his support for Trump, but his views on feminism and gender stuff in specifics. But here's the deal. So if you have a video or if you have a channel that has a history of posting controversial content, not necessarily inappropriate, not necessarily negative, but content that is, here's this person, here's what they're saying, and here's my argument to what they're saying.
Yeah.
Okay? And YouTube as a social media platform, okay, should welcome that dialogue, right?
Yeah, you would think anyways.
Right. But unfortunately, we have come to a point in time where the people who are running YouTube, it would seem that they want to make YouTube a quote-unquote safe space.
Yeah.
And so, dissenting opinions or opinions that might differ from your own can not only get shouted down by other people, but now can be shut down permanently. Okay, so you have
like the mass flagging thing.
Right.
Yeah, if 3 videos in an entire channel,
three strikes and you're out.
Yeah, if 3 videos in an entire channel, say that channel has 1,000 videos, if 3 of them are considered inappropriate, that channel is now gone.
And there's people whose livelihoods depend on YouTube.
Well,
for example, The Amazing Atheist.
Yeah.
He just surpassed 1 million subscribers. I've been watching him for a long time, and he has a lot of very controversial opinions. He has been a YouTuber since the fledgling days of YouTube.
Wow.
Okay? Makes his living doing it. Now, he posts videos where he's like, here's this feminist gender warrior, whatever, and he kind of breaks it down and maybe debunks them, or at least presents his side of the argument.
Of course.
Okay? And now, the people that are against his viewpoint,
and there will be a lot of them just from his name, The Amazing Atheist.
Now they can go through and they can earn as many points as they can to get up to the level to where they can start mass flagging videos, and then that's it. And then they start shutting channels down. The problem that I have with this is, first of all, that monitoring of content and the policing of that website should be done by YouTube themselves.
Yes.
And if they are going to have a community of people who are going to do the policing, there needs to be some kind of application and vetting process. You shouldn't be able to have the power to start mass flagging videos and shutting down channels just based on how many imaginary points you've earned.
It reminds me a little bit of the way that Wikipedia has evolved its editing process. Like, now you have to, you always have to provide your sources. You always have to, any changes that you're trying to make on Wikipedia now need to be vetted by more than just yourself.
Right.
It's very difficult to just change, like, a single line in any Wikipedia article now. Like, it's evolved.
There's checks and balances there.
There should be, but and this gets back to the way that YouTube Heroes is going about it. It seems like this is going to cause so many problems.
And I'm sure it will. There's always going to be abuses to these kind of systems. Now, could these anti-SJW, anti-feminist atheism channels and the cancer channels, the YouTube drama channels like Keemstar and Leafy, could they send their people to YouTube Heroes and have them start earning points to shut down channels they disagree with? Absolutely, they could. But then when you start doing that, you kind of take away your bread and butter. You take away your content. If your content is based around YouTube drama or based around debunking other YouTube videos, or at least arguing other YouTubers' points, then by shutting down these channels, you have nothing to gain. But the opposing sides to those have everything to gain because they're shutting down dissenting opinion. Now, as the time of this podcast recording, there has been 2.1 million views on the YouTube Heroes video that was put out by YouTube. 17,000 likes, 655,000 dislikes. And the like to dislike ratio on this video, from what I have heard, is greater than just about any other video that's on YouTube right now. And a lot of people are up in arms about it. In fact, YouTube has edited that video since it first came out. So when you go to the part where it says report inappropriate content accurately, it used to say report negative content.
Yeah.
When you get to the part where it says moderate YouTube Hero community, moderate comments in the YouTube Hero community, it used to just say moderate content. But they've added these little footnotes, and I think that due to the backlash, maybe they are already making changes to that policy. And it seems like YouTube does this a lot. They will try and institute some policies in order to kind of clean up or make YouTube a better place, whatever. But all of a sudden, there's huge backlash by big YouTubers. Because YouTube has nothing to gain by doing this. YouTube honestly doesn't have the manpower to moderate everything. Yeah. There's so much content on YouTube that they just don't have the manpower to do it all. So they're kind of putting it on the audience. But instead of any kind of application process, you just join up and then you just start earning points. But here's the thing. You're able to mass flag videos before you're even able to contact YouTube staff directly. And why is that such a high level for you to be able to contact YouTube staff directly? Everybody who has a channel on YouTube or has an account on YouTube should be able to send an email to somebody, right? Right. So as a YouTube creators like we are, albeit a very small channel, we have to start earning points before we can even talk to anybody about this. And what if I said something, even during this segment, that made someone mad? Yeah. Okay. I'm sure that we have said things in the past in our previous episodes. Right. And so they're like, well, you know what? I'm just going to start flagging that podcast videos. And then all of a sudden we don't have a platform anymore because we get more views on the podcast segments on YouTube than we do total downloads. Yeah. We're just about to hit 1,000 views total. The channel's been up for 2 months. Yeah. And we're just about to hit 1,000 views. So our audience is bigger on YouTube than it is anywhere else. Okay. So that's an issue for me. Yeah. Okay. Now it's not like, are we making a living doing this? No, hell, of course not. We're doing this for fun. But at the same time, we want to create, we want to put things out there. We want to have our voice heard. We want to have a platform for our views. And the things that we like and things that we want to talk about. And the reason why is because if we like these things, odds are there's going to be other people out there who will get enjoyment from it. Theoretically. Yes. But now all that's being threatened because we may say something that somebody doesn't like. Yeah. And they might take it upon themselves to start just, you know what, we're done. We're done with them. Just all it takes is a few people now, and they can shut down a channel for good. And what's the recourse for that? I mean, where's the checks and balances in that system? Is there a moderator YouTube staff who moderates the community? I don't know yet. Enough details haven't come out about this program yet to really give us an answer.
Exactly. And I would be interested to see what the process would be for, excuse me, like if some YouTube hero starts mass flagging videos that, again, they just straight up disagree with. An overly zealous Christian goes to the Amazing Atheist page and starts mass flagging his videos because he's an atheist. Does the actual YouTube community of moderators and people that are in charge, do they have
actual employees? Yes,
actual employees of YouTube. Do they have then a voice to say, no, you can't do this, and I don't know, take points away from people who do that?
I don't like the whole point system. I think it's stupid. It's dumb, and the rewards aren't tangible. Maybe the try new products, what are they going to send you? What products, physical, tangible products?
I don't know.
YouTube
maybe they're going to try to re-release Google Glass.
They have YouTube Red, which is a subscription service, but there's not really any YouTube branded products out there, like tangible, I can hold it in my hand products. So what's the appeal to that? There's the YouTube Summit. So basically it's a convention for all these YouTube heroes to get together and kind of talk about how many channels they shut down and how awesome they are because they're making YouTube a better place for them. But every channel, even the cancer channels like the Keemstar and Leafy and all those, they have an audience. They have millions of subscribers. They have people that log into YouTube and that they want to see that content. Okay? So why leave it to a small group of people to shut it down and ruin it for everybody else? So it's going to be up in the air. It's kind of going to be interesting to see how it plays out. Really.
Yes.
It's going to be one of those things we're just going to have to kind of sit back and watch, but I definitely wanted to talk about it this week because it is kind of big, and I am a heavy YouTube user.
Exactly.
Okay, I do not have cable. I rarely watch Netflix. I rarely watch Hulu. Okay, really, my main source of entertainment comes from YouTube.
And honestly, lately, since we've started doing the podcast, putting stuff up on YouTube, my viewing has been largely YouTube-based.
And that's the thing. And as a YouTube channel viewer, as a YouTube viewer, okay, I find videos that I like, and then YouTube starts recommending other videos for me. I find channels I like, I start subscribing. So I get home from work, I sit down in front of the TV, turn the PS4 on or the Chromecast or whatever. First thing I do, load up my YouTube app, go to my subscriptions. Whoever's got new videos on there, I start a queue and just start playing it. That's my entertainment.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out. I really hope none of my favorite channels get shut down because of this. Yeah. And here's the thing. Is YouTube Hero going to be the new synonym for SJW?
It very well could be. I mean, it depends. It depends on how it's going to actually play out, I think. Because, I mean, like you said, yes, a lot of, SJW type people are going to be trying to shut down.
Well, that's what they want. That's their favorite thing to do is to shut down any kind of
dissenting voice. Exactly. Yes, absolutely. And that's a very Nazi way of looking at things.
They aren't interested in opposing viewpoints. They aren't interested in debate.
Yeah. And, a lot of people are not interested in debate. I don't understand that personally. I love talking to people and I love sharing ideas and trying to come to a consensus viewpoint. That's kind of my life goal, really, is to bring as many differing viewpoints together to create kind of a new consciousness. Like, it doesn't mean
and that's the thing. Just because you have a different opinion doesn't mean you're necessarily wrong. But you should be able to look at another side of thing. And that's one of those things that I'm kind of struggling with myself in my personal life, is that I have a real problem with empathy. That's something I struggle with, is being able to see other people's side of things.
Right.
Whereas I get so wrapped up in what I'm doing, especially at work, that I'm kind of driving people away from me because I'm like, no, this is the way it's supposed to be done, and this is the way we're going to do it. And then they kind of get upset because they're like, well, you don't think about how I feel. And it's true. And I have to go back and I have to be like, look, I apologize for you or to you for saying what I said and the tone that I used. And it's something, and it's a really humbling experience. But it's one of those things that we all have to learn.
Yes.
If we're all going to get along.
And honestly, I think that is the kind of thing, it becomes more difficult as you get older. Or at least it seems to.
You get set in your ways, man.
Yeah, there was an article that Cracked put out last week, I think, that was saying millennials are not as awful as everyone says they are, because they are literally just more open to other people's viewpoints. And
but are they?
I don't know.
Because it seems to me like a lot of people aren't. But
a lot of people aren't. No, that's very true.
What's crazy, because this is like the most political that we've gotten on the Dork Age podcast.
It is true.
Maybe it's a new journey for us. If this, we'll put this out as a segment. Comment on it if you have any kind of anything to say about it, and maybe we'll touch on it a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll have a about last week segment next
week. Right, but 17
about...
minutes is far too long to talk about these things. Let's go ahead.
We'll move on.
And move on.